In for a fix for today and tomorrow as the two-day Night of the Poets Unplugged show premieres. The show is part of the 20-day-long Mzansi Fela Festival that is currently taking place in the city of Tshwane. Napo Mashiane, Afurakan and Kgafela or Magogodi, let me get that right, are just some of the powerhouses that will be showcasing at the event. To tell us more about the show, we are joined in studio by the poet Napo Mashiane and show producer Mandla Maseko. Good to have both of you. Welcome to Morning Live.
Morning.
Good. Oh, so the Night of Poets. Talk to me about the idea. Where did it all come from?
Well, we started in 2009 at the State Theatre because we felt that there is a need for us to fuse and bridge the platform between the established poets and emerging poets. So this is one of the platform in South Africa where emerging poets actually graduates to become established poets. So you will fuse an emerging poet with a renowned established poet like Napo Mashiane, and it has grown since then. So it is now one of the biggest shows, and we are very grateful that it is part of the Mzansi Fela Festival supported by the city of Tshwane.
Wonderful. What's it like for you to work with emerging poets?
I mean, it's always very exciting and very challenging, but also exciting in the sense that what we started years ago as spoken word artists, it means that we can now really, pass on the baton, and to see young people being in tune in terms of literature and breathing life into words, but also they bring in new voice, they bring in new vibe, and they, if you're trying to say, no, I don't want to challenge myself with anything, they keep coming up with all these, new ways of saying poetry, you can break boundaries, poetry can be performed with musicians, with dancers, with everything. It's a beautiful platform for both of us, and just to in tune and have conversations that are really intriguing and that are current in South Africa. I think the young voices capture that very well, more than us.
Wow. Yes and no. I mean, you've been around, you've seen a couple of things, and your poetry is unbelievable. So, but I know what you're saying. It's always nice to get new, fresh ideas,
energies.
And that energy. It's that energy that us old folk seem to sort of lose out a little bit on. But when we talk about these festivals and the importance of them, how vital are they? Do they make a difference in any way, or is it just a platform for poets to stand up and speak, or are people actually listening to what they have to say?
Well, look, I think poetry is one of the oldest performing arts form in South Africa, and through poetry, poets now write about the status quo, and if you listen to the works that poets are producing, are actually dealing with issues of justice, issues of hunger, issues of poverty. So these are critical issues in a society we live in. But I think what we have done now, especially through Night of the Poet, is to graduate poets from just being icons and political consciousness, a group of people, to become entertainers as well. That is why you see through Night of the Poet, we are fusing both poetry and music. We'll be having tonight Nati with Napo Mashiane and Kgafela Magogodi, and tomorrow we have Malé, Afurakan and Natalia Mlibatse. We are just making sure that majority of the people can come to the show and come and enjoy. Even if you are not so much of a poetry lover, there is both a kind of entertainment that you'll find there.
You've reminded me, and speaking of, and I'm going to ask you this question as well, where you find the talent, because I was, as usual, just taking a look at social media and having a look at different things, and I discovered this young poet from Afurakan, and I didn't discover her, obviously somebody had put her out there. But she said a poem, and it was just talking about the state of the country and a message to our president and a message to our leaders. And it was this young 18-year-old girl who said a poem, but it was the most moving thing I have heard this year that I was forced to retweet it. I think it's been seen over 500,000 times now. And, is the platform through social media making these powerful words even bigger than they were?
Oh no, definitely. It means you get access. You access, you know, a majority of audiences. But more than anything, I think again, I keep saying that, you know, poets are walking bookshelves.
Yes.
You know, we are living in libraries, we bookshelves, and so we carry within us so much. And because of the social media, when we express our words beyond just the print and the stage, it allows the whole universe, the global universe, to tap into what is happening in our communities around our corner. And as a result, then we can have this conversation. We can talk about, you know, amazing issues. We can celebrate, but also we can question politics. We can question everything that's happening within our lives, and still express ourselves through few words. So I do believe that you know, social media plays a huge role. And we need to celebrate that. We need to acknowledge that most of the young poets, I'm meeting a lot of young poets through social media on Facebook. They put their work. I can engage with them. I fall in love with their work. I can challenge them. They can challenge me and call me to task as well as an older poet.
I imagine so. The process of finding poets to participate in something like this, would it go as far as actually finding someone on a YouTube channel or through Facebook and giving them this live platform?
Well, I think for us, what is important is that as we go through finding them, I mean, there are so many young people out there that write poetry. But what is critical is that with the city of Tshwane, we've started a process of now identifying emerging poets through Speak Out Loud program. Now, it is through that, because you see, it's not well enough just to call yourself a poet. You must be able to write, you must be able to think, you must be able to produce work that is really can be consumed and entertain people. So really, I think for over the years, having seen a lot of poets that have come through Night of the Poets, supported by the State Theatre and the City of Tshwane, for us, we are very proud. And tonight, all roads lead to the State Theatre Opera.
So, State Theatre tonight and tomorrow night.
At 7 o'clock.
At 7 o'clock, and tickets are still available?
Yes, at CompuTicket.
At CompuTicket.
And then, of course, social media, again, they can engage, ask us, you know, more stuff, more information.
Brilliant. What are your Twitter handles?
My Twitter is at Napo Mashiane, and Facebook, Napo Mashiane. And, of course, Ntate Maseko.
Mandla Maseko.
Guys, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm going to introduce you to this young girl that I found. She's, well, I introduce you through there, and I leave it to you to find her. She's amazing. Thank you so much. So the State Theatre, if you love poetry and the spoken word, this is where you need to be. Let's take a very quick break.